welcome back. We are going to be doing a fabulous transformation of our entryway, and I can't wait to get started on this. Now, a little bit of a rundown if you are new to our channel. The original part of the home was built in 1927. However, in 2000, the previous owners put on an addition, and they did this whole entryway. They did a 3-car garage and a huge bonus room upstairs. From the driveway, you walk in the beautiful door and you hit the main level of the entryway. And to the right is the door to the garage, and to the left is the door going down to the basement. And when you come up the ceramic tile steps, to your left is the kitchen, and also off of that is the 3/4 bath that we just did a renovation on a couple videos ago. If you keep going down the main hallway, to your right is the staircase that leads up to the big bonus room. When Rick and I looked at this house when it was for sale, there was a baby grand piano upstairs as well as a huge organ, because the lady of the house taught piano lessons and organ lessons. And also in the ceramic tile here in the entryway, there's some little musical notes as well. So in previous videos, if you've always wondered why there's a mural on this wall that depicts a piano and little children at the piano, now you know why. This mural was done, I think, shortly after they did the addition. So it's been up probably 23, 24 years. And, you know, it worked very well for the previous owners, you know, because they obviously had it commissioned. However, for Rick and I, it's just not what we are envisioning for our home and our family. And so this was really something very hard for me. I really thought about this for a long time, what I wanted to do, because being an artist myself, I just could not bear to paint over this mural. I just can't do it. So what we decided to do is I'm purchasing, I've already bought it actually, this beautiful wallpaper, and it is actually a mural, and it's going to go all the way across this. However, if in the future, for whatever reason, we decide that we want to take it off, the artwork will still be intact underneath. Or, you know, owners in the future someday, if they buy the house and they take the wallpaper off, the mural will still be there. Also, Rick and I have taken some really high quality photographs of this mural, and we're going to print it out and have it displayed in this entryway when we're all done. And another interesting and cool feature is they put these beautiful French doors in to close off the entryway from the main part of the house. That way, if people were coming for piano lessons and stuff, it would be more private. But these are beautiful French doors. We bought this really nice board at Menards, and it's hickory, and we are going to use this to make a coat rack. The wallpaper has arrived. It's so exciting. It says on the side of the box, "Yay, it's here," which is really cute. And then it says wallblush.com. So I'm going to open it up and make sure that I got the right print that I ordered. Even the box is just absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at this. It says on the inside, "Oh, hey, nice wallpaper." So the company that makes the wallpaper is Wall Blush, and the name of the print that I chose is Wedded Woodlands. And they even include a nice little tool here for applying your wallpaper, which is really nice. And yes, this is the right wallpaper. I can tell by looking at it. We have 2 windows in this entryway. And when we moved in, the previous owners had these blocks of foam. And on the blocks of foam, they had it covered in material. And then the blocks of foam were pushed into these metal things that are into the wall, and it held them on. This one fell off within days of us moving in, and then the other one Rick took off several months ago on our other little window. So I need to get these out of here, obviously, so that I can spackle these holes before we paint, because I am going to be putting up some new window treatments. 1 down, 3 more to go. Ooh, and let's see what this color ends up looking like. This is called Pine Trail, and it is a beautiful, beautiful green. And I think this is going to look lovely in this entryway. I'm not going to lie, this has been a little challenging to paint. I'm on an 8-foot ladder, so this ceiling has got to be probably at least 11 feet, and I'm only 5 foot, so it's been a little bit of a challenge, but I'll get it done. This is my current situation. Rick built for me some scaffolding out of sawhorses and some plywood that he had out in the garage because I just couldn't reach these doors. And here, especially on either side of the staircase, I just wasn't able to reach those areas with either of the ladders. So this was our solution. And of course, we had to put this lawn chair up so that Emmy wouldn't try to walk the plank. The other situation I have with this entryway renovation is, where do I stop the green paint going up the stairs? Because I obviously am not ready to paint the upstairs yet. But you see this wall where the handrail is, at least part of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line at the top of the stairs, and I'm just going to paint from that line down with the green color, and then put a little piece of trim across there. I am continuing on with my mission to take down every corded blind in this house because they are not safe for children or for pets. When we took the railing down, it pulled off the top layer of the drywall, the paper. And so I want to put a little bit of drywall primer on this before we put the wallpaper on. And now that the painting is done, it is time to wallpaper. In this particular wallpaper, they recommend that you use Roman Pro 880. I've never used this before. I usually just use Zinsser, but I figured I'm just going to go with whatever, the manufacturer of the wallpaper says to use. Now in this case, this wallpaper is not pre-pasted, so I have to put this on the wall. I usually just take a brush and go around the edges, and then I roll the rest of it on. So wish me luck. I'm crossing my fingers that this turns out well. I have my lovely assistant Rick helping me today measure these panels so I don't mess it up. Really rather neat. This helps when you're doing a top and bottom if you've got quite a bit of overlap, and I've got like 3 inches. I just cut into the paper a little bit. If you sew, you know what I'm talking about when you're sewing around corners. You just make some little cuts, and then the wallpaper, you can get it much tighter right up against the ceiling. And I do the same thing for the baseboards as well. Now it will move and go right into the groove now that I've scored it just a little bit. An added benefit of having the coat rack where it is placed. It is directly over top of the heat vent in this room. And so when you go to put your coats on in the winter, they're nice and warm. I'm putting a coat of wax on top of this to protect it. So in the event we have on any wet coats and scarves and gloves and hats and things like that, this wax will protect the paint if any water gets on top of it. When I trimmed out the bottom of the wallpaper, it took a very little bit of paint off of the top of the baseboards. So I'm just taking a little tiny brush and I'm just filling in those areas. This is the window at the end of the entryway hallway, and it's really close to our neighbor's garage. I'm going to kind of come up here so you can see. I want to put some window treatments on this window. What I want to do is I want to put some nice window film on the bottom half of the window. That way it still lets in a lot of light, and I'm also going to frame it with curtains as well. And what I purchased is this beautiful Artscape window film, and this is called Elderberry. I bought this mirror many years ago, and I've had it in several different houses. Originally it was done in like a dark brown color, and then about 10 years ago I whitewashed it, you know, when the whole farmhouse craze was going on and everything was being distressed. And I really enjoyed it, and I kind of like to follow trends because I think that they're fun. But that doesn't mean that over time you can change things out according to, you know, your wants and needs. And I just decided that when I did my hallway makeover, because this is where it was hanging previously when we moved into this house, that I wanted to paint it gold, and I wanted to stain it, you know, to look like it's antiqued. So I bought this nice little antiquing stuff on Amazon, and this is, oh my gosh, okay, they just call it antiquing medium, so it's not really paint, and I guess it's more like a stain is what you would call it. And it's super easy, as you can see. You just literally take like a paintbrush and you paint it on, and then you just immediately wipe it off with a cloth. And there you have it. It looks like it's been antiqued. Well, it has been antiqued. I had one really warm day in November where it hit 50 degrees, and it was just warm enough to take this mirror outside and spray paint it gold. And I've been saving it all this time for my hallway entryway makeover. I'm just putting a coat of wax over top of this antiquing to help protect and seal this paint and this really nice antiquing gel. All right, we're going to hang up our beautiful new curtains. I wanted to give you a close-up of these gorgeous curtains. Now these far exceeded my expectations. They really did. They have the most beautiful print on these curtains. Oh my goodness. They have beautiful horses and beautiful ladies and beautiful hats. Oh my gosh, it is just so pretty. Everything is so pretty on this. Look at that. Look at how beautiful it is. This is a combination of a linen and polyester, and also it is lined, as you can see, which is really nice in Michigan because it really helps keep out the cold in the winter and the heat in the summer. I'm really glad that I chose these curtains. They look perfect in this room. Next, we are going to hang this beautiful clock. This is made out of a solid piece of wood, and our son Gordon made this for us probably over 10 years ago. And as you can see, it has a live edge to it, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's really heavy, so we're probably going to have to put some anchors in the wall to hang this. This is such a beautiful piece, and he did such a good job on it. Oh yeah, it looks really nice. There's always going to be setbacks whenever you're doing a project and things that don't turn out exactly the way you wanted them to. And this wallpaper mural was no exception. Originally, we were going to cut this right here where this trim stops at the edge of the steps. We were going to cut this here and then just put a little piece of wood trim here to frame it out. However, we decided that it just wasn't going to look good, and we really didn't want to do that. And so we ended up buying the 6th panel of the wallpaper mural to put up. However, it took a week and a half to get it. Actually, we still don't have it yet. We're waiting on it. And also, the beautiful rug that I bought for the flooring in here, and also to go down the stairs, we realized is so thin that we need a rug pad. So we had to order a rug pad. So we've had a few setbacks in this project, but it's okay because it's all going to turn out beautifully when it's all done. I know that signs have kind of fallen out of favor. However, because I love The Wizard of Oz, if you've seen any of my content, you know that. My son and his fiancée purchased this for me for my birthday a few years ago, and this is always going to hang in my house. Because there's no place like home. Since I'm waiting on my rug pad and my last wallpaper panel, I decided to go ahead and put some of my nice little pretty details in this room. So I bought this really nice runner. It could be a table runner or wherever you want to put it, but I'm going to put it on my buffet. I purchased these really nice lamps to put in here as well, and I got these at Home Goods, and they were $39.99, which I thought was a pretty good price. I always wanted to have 2 lamps in here, one on either side of the buffet, and I think these are going to look beautiful in here. Our son Gordon also made us this beautiful trivet probably 15 years ago, maybe more, and they did such a wonderful job cutting into this wood and putting in all the leaves and the little heart on the tree, and I thought that this would look great in here on the buffet. Because I live in the Mitten State, up in the Upper Peninsula is a place called Copper Harbor, and this is where this came from, and this is a raw piece of copper, and you can see that this part has been polished, and I thought that this would look really nice in here. And all spaces look better with a little bit of greenery, and this is real, and I bought this at Meijer. When I was a little girl growing up, we lived on a 40-acre farm, and my family had racehorses, and they were standard bred, which means they had the little cart on the back. And my dad was the owner, driver, and trainer of the horses. And my grandmother bought this, and this is like cast iron, and I know it's an antique, as you can see. And when I was a little girl, she bought this like at a garage sale somewhere, and I'm so happy that this was passed down to me because I absolutely love this, and I think it's going to look great in here. I'm going to set it right on this little area here, and I think it looks so cute. And this is a horseshoe, and this was one of my dad's horseshoes that fit the racehorses, and I've always had it hanging in no matter where we moved, this hang above the front door. And you don't hang it down like this because you don't want the luck to run out. You put it up this way, and I will be hanging this back up as well. I purchased this really cute frame from the dollar store for $5, and I thought it would look really nice with the print that I had made of the original mural in the room. I've had this crock for quite a long time, and I bought some faux flowers at the Dollar General that I thought would look really nice inside this crock to use in this hallway. And last but not least, I bought this beautiful, a chocolate brown entryway bench so that we can sit down and take our shoes on and off. And it's gonna look really nice once we get the carpeting, our carpet rug put in this room as well. The look that I was going for in my entryway makeover was kind of like a British boot room type of area, which is sort of dark and moody, but had all of these interesting little details with it. Also with a little bit of French country thrown in for good measure, like the legs of the bench here. They kind of have a French country look to it. And I think I came pretty close to achieving that goal. This is a photograph of my dad racing one of his favorite horses that he ever had, and her name was Song of Venice. And this is actually a win photo. And here's what the staircase looks like on this side where the railing is, and it looks really, really nice. However, on this side, there's still one more thing we have to do, and that is we need to buy a piece of trim to put up right in between where the two colors meet. The wallpaper that I used was called Luxe Traditional, and it's really, really thick paper and really nice. And I got this in a matte finish. Also, all of their wallpapers at Wall Blush also come with a peel and stick as well. But I wanted to do the traditional wallpaper. So the pros of this is it is nice, it's thick, it looks beautiful on the wall. I mean, it's just stunning. The cons are you really have to have your seams lined up perfectly, and I mean perfectly, because if you overlap just a tiny bit, you will see it because this paper is so thick. And if you don't get your seams butted right up next to each other super tight, you will also see it. And because the paper is so thick and there's nothing printed on the edge of the paper, even if you do get your two sides to butt up perfectly, you're still going to see a really faint white line. And so what I did was I had a pack of markers that I just had here at the house of varying colors, and it just so happened that I had all of the shades in this wallpaper, and I just went through and I just really carefully touched up, you know, those little white lines, and you just can't see it at all. However, when you overlap, there really isn't a good way to fix that. Unless you have a very, very steady hand, you could probably take an X-Acto knife and just trim that off. But man, I'm good with an X-Acto knife, but I still don't know if I want to try that. I may in the future, but for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I want to talk a little bit about the wallpaper paste. This company recommended using Roman Pro 880, and that's what I used. However, it's very, very thick, and once you lay your paper on the wall, you can't slide it around. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. So I would recommend if you use the Roman Pro 880 that you dilute it with water, and then I think you'd have better results. That last little thin piece that we put up, I just used my Zinsser that I normally use, and I got it to slide right into place perfectly. So that's my advice regarding the wallpaper. Now, as far as the rug goes, we had bought a 20-foot, it was 3 by 20 rug runner, and we bought 2 rug pads that were 3 by 12, and we were going to run the rug all the way down the stairs. And once we got everything out and we were like fitting it before we actually started to install it, we realized that this rug is a little bit slippery. It is a machine washable rug. It's very thin and it's beautiful, but it is silky and it makes it a little bit slippery. And Rick and I are like, yeah, we don't know if we want to put this on the stairs because we don't want anybody sliding down the stairs. So ultimately we decided not to install it on the stairs. So what we did is we just cut, you know, some of the rug. We just basically cut the rug in half. And I'm going to buy some cotton thread, like some thick, heavy-duty cotton thread, and I'm just going to bind that edge by hand, and I think it'll be fine. Now, as far as the window where the horse picture is, from the inside of the house, it looks like a very oddly placed window. However, if you go outside, you will see why that window is there. If you've seen our sunroom renovation, we have a sunroom off of the kitchen that used to be a covered porch, and there's stairs that lead up to this porch, and when you're standing on the porch, that's where the window is, so you can see right into the house. So that is the story about the window. And I think that's going to be it for today. I could not be happier with the way this renovation turned out. I think it is absolutely beautiful. And Rick and I would like to thank you all so much for watching today's video. We love you guys, and we will see you all soon. Goodbye.